Okay, who wants to see something cool? Yeah, right. Here we've got the Thompsons Creek guitar. All buffed up and ready to go. I'm kind of digging on it. This is the one that, if you've been following along at home, has a number of different interesting woods going in it. The top, which gave it its name, is actually some silver maple. Gave it its name because of these black streaks that you see. The gentleman who commissioned the guitar, Ted, pointed at it and said, "Look, Thompsons Creek," which happens to be a little creek that runs along the base of the mountains that we live at here. Or actually, he's in Massachusetts now, but we grew up together in Claremont, California, and we're at the foot of the San Gabriel Mountains, Mount Baldy. And Thompsons Creek happens to run along the bottom of that. And so that's a really neat piece of wood. I really think it's pretty special. Then we've got this redwood on the back. And, you know, redwood actually has a really wonderful ring to it. A lot of people are using it, a lot of builders are using it as a soft top, you know, on electric guitars. And I used it on the body. Now, the only way that we could get away with this is by doing a nice, you know, hard but very thin shell of epoxy, finishing epoxy. And so that way, you know, it's, because, you know, as you know, redwood, or probably know anyway, redwood is a softwood. It's not even a hardwood. It happens to ring really wonderfully. But, you know, it would probably get pretty dinged up if I didn't add some extra protection. So I did that. And then we've got lacquer on top of that. So it's got that gorgeous look to it. And then as just a couple of little accents, I just happened to have some tortoise shell around and decided, well, you know what, that looks pretty groovy. You know, going right down into the ebony skunk stripe. And then I've got basically on the control cavity cover, it's cut out of the, you know, the same piece of wood. You probably, if you've been following, saw that this was solid last time we looked. But, you know, with all the electronics going in there, there was no way I was going to be able to get it in through, you know, just these cavities. So I did go ahead and do that, but then I put some of this tortoise shell on top. You can still see the wood through it, so you can see the grain, see the wood flow from, you know, the cover into the rest of the body. It also has a nice trim of ebony around the edge too. Those electronics I mentioned, oh boy, lots. A couple of humbuckers, 4 leads so that they can be coil tapped, 5-position switch. We've got master volume right here. We've got a blend pot. Why a blend pot? Because, and you see this little hole for all the wires to go down there. I've got one of those LR bags, you know, acoustic transducer dealies, right? So that goes in there. It's also got a stereo mono button right here. So in mono mode, you can blend between, actually right here, you can blend between the magnetics and the piezoelectric acoustic sound coming out of the bridge. If you go stereo, you can send 2 separate things, the acoustic sound to the PA, this magnetics to your amp. I managed to somehow keep 2 tone controls for the magnetics, you know, so we've got a tone control on the neck and a tone control on the bridge, so even in all 5 positions, you'll be able to do some tone control action, which is pretty groovy. So this thing has more bells and whistles on it than anything I've built up to date, so it's really going to be fun getting in there and getting it all together and hearing all the different sounds that this bad boy can do. So there we are, the Thompsons Creek guitar. It's not quite finished yet because now I get to play with those electronics. We'll get all that in there. I'm also, now that I know that it's going to be a real guitar, we'll be getting the logo onto it. I've decided in future from now on, the logo doesn't go on until I know it's a viable instrument. This one is there. So Okay, you guys, y'all have fun, enjoy, and we'll see you next time.